of April 2025, and we're coming up on a beaver swamp with a badly clogged culvert that we're about to try to improve it, try to get it as good as we can. The roads around here are in very good shape. It's actually a very nice morning. 46 degrees out. Today's supposed to make it up to about 70. It's going to be a very nice day. Maybe we'll hear some ice cracking, because this water level will get it down a lot. When I first found this over the winter and it was completely frozen, we couldn't do anything about it. When I got out, I thought it was going to be a small 18-inch pipe. It's actually kind of huge if we can get this thing fully open. Let's get my jacket on, let's go outside and inspect. Last night, I slept pretty good. Ooh, duck flying away. Ooh, another duck flying away. They're angry. Look at this beautiful mulberry bush is about to start growing leaves. See that in there? That's about to be a big, beautiful purple flower on each one. There's a lot of them, actually. So all considering, I got a good night's sleep last night, but I had to move my vehicle because in one spot, I could hear something tapping on the door, hit the horn. 20 minutes later, the truck started briefly shaking a little bit. There was a bear trying to open the truck's door last night. So, after the second time of that, I just got in the driver's seat and took off, drove away, and parked somewhere else. I didn't want to deal with that. Well, we cannot unclog this one today. We're gonna have to wait and come back out here in a couple weeks. It's an ice dam right here. It forms on the end. See, it's not in there a bit. If you look all the way through, maybe we can try to open this. Who knows? That would be actually kind of awesome, because if this we can get it to float up a little bit, it'll slip out. That'll actually be cool if we can. Yeah, I think that's not connected to the bottom anymore. I've seen a couple this week that are still frozen solid and they're watertight, but that's in a different area of higher elevation where it's even colder. So that was the first time I've ever actually had a bear try to do something like that. Another reason I don't want to sleep in a tent in the summer. So road crews must have done this right here just to get it off the road. But there's only one pipe, so considering here and here is working, we got to dig this whole middle piece out. It's going to be a tough one, but I'm up for it. This is very active beaver swamp. They'll be right at it again next week. Once this water clears up, they'll be right at it. This is all building material for them. That's their favorite stuff to build with, favorite stuff to eat. That's all willow tree that's growing in here. All right, everyone. We're all geared up. Got the big high boots on. Got camera 2, the rake. And look at all these moose tracks in the road. So we're gonna set up camera number 2 down here. I feel like this is gonna be one that we're gonna have to chip away at for a bit. But hopefully water pressure gets us good eventually. Notice the trees are all small. Hopefully there's nothing huge across that pipe. Hopefully this goes pretty easily. But this looks like one that may cause problems, and if we do get a big blast, I don't want camera number 2 being down there, so we're gonna put it up here on top of the culvert looking down. The trees don't have leaves, so that'll give us an angle that's actually pretty nice. All right, got a good angle. 1, 2, 3. Camera number 2 is going. All right, there we go. So now we're gonna go over here. Try to get this thing working a bit. And there is only one pipe, am I correct? Just want to confirm there's only one pipe. And it's probably between these 2 access points, but once we start digging, we'll confirm that. Ooh, look at all that stinky swamp gas. I do not think the pipe is over there. I think it's just slipping through. I think it's here. Ooh. It went through, but there was a spotted salamander. Did you see that on the camera? Yeah, we gotta dig a little more on the other side here. And this, the ground's still frozen, but we're gonna do what we can. Yeah. I guess we got to do more on the other side. Oh, look, that's all frozen. Maybe we can do that to the other side. Just get the whole frozen piece out of here. And I'm purposely not letting the flow go through because we have limited water power here. This pond is not very big. We're gonna save it for when we need it. All right, we'll try again on the other side to try to... Oh yeah, we can do the same thing here. We got to get underneath it. Can we break it in half? That thing's heavy. Almost there. It's a back-breaking one. There's sticks in it, attaching it to the ground like rebar. This is the key to getting this open. I gotta get this thing out. I can't grab it securely enough. Got it. Now everything else in there should be thawed. Time for the jacket to come off. It's getting hot out here. Let's throw it on some dead grass so it doesn't get dirty. They built the dam with a lot of mud, not many sticks. I hope that's the case all the way down. This one's been clogged for years. That's why you're seeing a rocky riverbed on top of the Beaver Dam. The mud's very heavy. We're gonna do a little more, and then eventually we're gonna let the whole thing go at once to hopefully build pressure against that iceberg. Good thing it was only frozen up at the top. This type of mud has a lot of organisms living in it that generate heat as it's deteriorating. That's why it didn't freeze down very far, or it already thawed. That water is super, super cold. Come on out. Okay, I'll show everyone what we're dealing with now, up close in there. So, we got it open as wide as the pipe. Now we got to go down about at least twice as far. At least the blockage is completely here. We got to put pressure on that iceberg and try to get it out. Okay. Try to give you an angle from out here. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Maybe not, maybe not. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. Stupid beaver set a trap. Oh no. Oh, it smells like a giant fart. I just almost flooded my boots. That water got so deep unexpectedly there. Well, That's why we don't usually set the camera up facing the pipe, even though it's a better angle, because of that. All right, we're gonna stay right here looking in then. Yeah, that beaver dam's gonna push out pretty good. We just gotta add a lot of water pressure in a minute. Unfortunately, beavers will reuse mud. Let's let it in. Let's let all the water in. No. We finally got the Beaver Dam to break. But now we just got to work on some of this foundation, which is above the bottom of it. That iceberg didn't come out, did it? Looking in there, it looks like everything's building against it, which is a good thing. We got to put pressure on it. The water going over it is going to start eroding the ice. So it definitely is not going to hold on for long. That's why you see it kind of backing up right here, not going in as fast. Because of that ice. Let's walk over there and see what it's doing. We got this thing open nearly all the way. Well, the mouth of it's open all the way. And that looks satisfying. That looks so cool how that's channeling in here. But here is open all the way. There's still like a foot above the bottom that we gotta break down. It's easy and backbreaking at the same time. It's simple to move that mud around, but it's extremely heavy. My back always hurts after doing ones like this. Let's go see what it's doing across the road. Wow, it flooded the whole area. That would be awesome while I come over here if that iceberg was to come out. I'm gonna grab my rake and we're gonna poke at the iceberg. But the amount of water pressure on it, I don't think what I'm gonna be doing is actually gonna be doing much, so I'm gonna try though. That thing is so heavy, you don't want to be in front of it if it was to give. No, that ice is not going to budge. That thing is so heavy, you don't want to be in front of it. That iceberg probably weighs 500 pounds or something. It's huge. And when it starts moving, it's not going to stop. But all this water going over it, especially dirty water, is kind of abrasive. So hopefully we wear it down in the next 10-20 minutes while we continue to work on this. And look at all the gas bubbles coming up. We got this area smelling like a fart bomb. And it just started raining too. We'll keep going though. We dropped the pond already 4 inches. It must be bigger than I thought it was because this is taking a while to drop down. If I walk right here, that's like this deep. You can't go out any further. It just drops off right at this point. Let's make muddy water. It's abrasive, it's like sandblasting. We can try to get that iceberg to fall apart. We already got a lot of debris jammed against it, so there's gonna be an incredible blast once that ice melts around the edges and can slip out. And I'm gonna know when it happens because this is gonna speed up. It's already caused a bit of a backup. Did it go? Did it just go? Because I feel like things have changed a bit. I hear a woodpecker. I'm hopeful because when we got here, the water was going underneath it. If the water was only going over the ice dam, it means it's frozen to the bottom with all the ground around it frozen, but that's not the case, so. Ooh, we have a bog starting to come over. A little bog. That's basically a floating piece of grass. It can be as big as having trees on it, but this is a baby one. You're seeing a lot of gas bubbles coming up because water pressure is holding the mud over them. Just because it's gassy doesn't mean it will come up to the surface. Water can pressurize the mud above it. Now that we're relieving that pressure on the mud, Lots of gas is coming up. You see it? It's starting to come into frame. Oh, it got stuck. I'm gonna help it though. We need more pressure against that blockage. Oh, it's kind of heavy. I hope this plugs the pipe and just puts pressure on what's going on over there. Come on. It's either gonna get jammed against it or go over it. Hopefully that, because if it's mass, it hits that with enough pressure to knock everything out of the pipe. Are there any more bogs we could send through? Maybe? It seems like it just picked up a little. There's a lot of gas bubbles coming up. No, I didn't see anything eventful over there. Let's try a little more. Just doing this helps break it down. It's only mud, basically. Yeah, the dam that was in there is mostly gone. It washed out. We gotta send more things through to get pressure on that. I hear ice cracking now. Well, that's really about best we can do now. We can wait for it to drain a bit. Just waiting for that iceberg to defrost. We've got so much pressure against it. All the debris I sent through there, I was making sure not to let big sticks go through. But everything that I just sent through is stacked behind it. Just putting pressure on it. We're just waiting now. While we wait, I'm gonna sit in the truck and have breakfast. Hopefully something happens here. Here's what the entrance of the pipe looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. I hear a ton of ice cracking in the background. We got a vehicle coming. First vehicle I've seen in 2 days out here in these parts. Now we're gonna go over to the other side. It's starting to rain, so good time to close up, wait in the truck for a bit. We'll come back out here in maybe an hour, see if this iceberg has given up. Oh wow, we eroded a lot of it. Look at that. Most of the water's going under it now. Wow, that eroded a ton in the past half hour. A surprising amount. I'm gonna go back over there and try to poke at that, see if we can relieve it. Oh, we can budge it now. Ouch. It's stuck in the corrugation. Don't stand in front of it. Stay off to the side. All the debris is right behind it. This will be awesome if we can get this out. I wish I had a sledgehammer or my axe. Yeah, we really reduced its size, but it's still snagged on something. I need to pull up, but it's still very heavy. Oh, we bent the rake, but we budged it a little bit. Oh, we have success. We budged a little bit, so now we have blocked the passage of water underneath it. Now it's flooding over the top. Maybe now the new water can give us leverage. Let's try again. No, we gotta wait for it to melt. We gotta wait for it to melt now. But it's melting fast. This will be out of here within the hour. It lost about half its mass since we've been here. I can't believe that I'm even able to move it. Back-breaking work. I'm gonna go grab camera number 1. I want you to see what I'm doing. Give that a minute to continue its erosion process. I gotta put my jacket away, it's raining out here. Today wasn't supposed to rain. It was supposed to be warm and sunny, but it is definitely warm compared to normal, compared to what it's been. It's finally starting to feel like actual spring. So I want to show you what we're dealing with down here. Ooh, am I lucky enough to have it happen in front of me? I heard ice move. Look what we have going on in there. So all of the water was going under the ice. I lifted the lip up with my rake. Then it suddenly plugged the hole underneath and started going over. It's now starting to go underneath again, meaning that abrasiveness of the dirty water is actually starting to erode it. Look in there. All the debris is stuck behind it. More than half of the ice's mass, compared to when we got here, is gone. I'm gonna put you back over here and you can look at me on camera number 2. I'll make more dominant again. We're gonna budge it again. We're gonna try to lift it again now that it's a little bit lighter and that it has almost eroded under it again. Eventually it's gonna come out with all that stuff. I think our water pressure idea worked because that wouldn't be going over if it wasn't for all that debris. Oh, it's completely under now. Now I can lift it again. Yep. Okay, we're not getting debris over the top this time. I think we broke the ice. I might be able to pull it out now in pieces. Yep, we broke it. But it's still super big. Yeah, we still can't budge it. It's so heavy, even though it's in half. I don't know what it's stuck on. I think as it melts, it's still keeping the shape of the corrugation because of the flow. It's got a lot of grip. Oh, here we go. We got the full pressure of all that stuff. Not quite. But we got it in a really good position now for melting itself out. Look down in there. I'm trying to show you everything even as I adjust the camera. I don't want to shut this off for a moment. Okay, here's what we're dealing with now. This is half of it. We've got to get it to come out of here. Okay, the second piece is elevated above the water. Getting this out of here is not going to solve this. We still have a lot of stuff going on in there. I'll show you in a moment. The second piece hasn't budged. We got to try to get this out. Oh, now I got to get up top again. Oh, there we go. Get out of there.
everyone. I think I gotta get my headlamp. I think I gotta go in there. Hopefully my cameras don't get shut off by all these raindrops. That's happened so many times. Okay, there's a third piece of ice in there that I want to attempt to get. I gotta try to go in there if I feel safe. If not, we'll just let it melt. I really don't know about this. That's pretty far in there. Yeah, I'm not doing it. I took one step into this culvert. My foot went right through it. The whole bottom is rusted out towards the end. We had put so much pressure against that piece of ice in there. If it gives, this whole pipe is gonna fill almost to capacity. Too dangerous. If I lose my grip, I could slide against all that stuff. Or I mean, if I get stuck on it and I can't retreat fast, then we're gonna have a problem in there. So we're waiting on one more piece of ice that is not touching the bottom. It's above the water, so that's a problem right now because it's not currently eroding itself. Shut this headlamp off. All right, I'm gonna put all my gear away. We're gonna sit in the truck for like a half an hour and we're gonna come back out here and see if anything's changed. Maybe when the water level drops a bit more, I'll have confidence getting in there. And at that point, we can get some before and afters. Camera number 2 off. Camera number 1 off.
All right, everyone. I just sat in the truck for over an hour. It poured for like 10 minutes. The rain stopped. Ooh. Wow. Ice is cracking. Wow, we dropped a ton. We dropped a ton. It's been over an hour since I've been out here. Wow. Really dropped down. Dropped down a good amount. Just over a foot of water drop. We did good. I think beavers are going to be a menace in this area. They have so much muck here. They'll literally, with their front feet, while paddling, just plow all this mud and debris. They'll plow it right in. You saw when we got here, there was barely any flow. So this is still technically dropping because it's coming in obviously slower than it's leaving still. So here's what the entrance of the pipe looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. A really big change. From this angle, here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. Pretty good improvement. Now we got to figure out if that eroded or not. Over here on the other side, here's what it looked at maximum capacity. Here's what it looked like before we did anything. And here's what it looks like now. Wow, just sitting in this dirty water. Look at that. Look how unsubstantial those pieces look right there. This was a major ice dam. I know someone is going to get triggered that I keep calling it an iceberg, but I mean iceberg as if it's floating away. Let's see. So this area was all flooded. It has since receded. Yeah, that pipe is gone on the bottom. Here's what the ice dam looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. We did a good job. Now on the inside, we still have a bit of ice in there built up with a bunch of debris behind it. Now that the flow is so low, maybe I should go in there and poke at it. Although the bottom of the pipe is sketchy all the way through. I really don't want to go in there because that metal is sharp, jagged, and I've already ruined a couple pairs of big high boots in the past year. I really don't want to have to buy another just for this stupid reason. But then again, now that the water pressure is gone, I see a problem that's here. The issue is, now that there's no water pressure, when that ice melts, the debris is not going to be able to get pushed out, and beavers will reinforce it. If it wasn't for the beavers, the next storm would push it out. But beavers will reinforce this debris. And because the bottom of the pipe is gone, that means it can potentially dig out the bottom of the road during a storm, so we have to flag this pipe as failed. Blue ribbon means there's a water issue. And we're going to put up some yellow ribbons also, because there's a potential for a sinkhole issue as the bottom of the pipe is gone. All right, we made this super noticeable. I wrote on a couple of them because when an inspector comes out or road crews see all this ribbon, they will stop at these things. And it may not be apparent why, although I bet you by next week this pipe will be completely jammed again by the beavers. So they'll probably assume it's beavers, why it's marked, but I want them to be aware when they come in here that the pipe is completely failed. So that is why we were a little bit aggressive on this location with tagging. Plus, in about a month, the leaves on the trees are going to grow, so you want this to be super noticeable. Don't be the guy who only puts a couple inches of ribbon on the trees. Then the trees grow leaves, and when road crews are actually working during the warmer months, they can't tell it's a problem. Got to put up a lot of ribbon. Ribbon's cheap. The road washing out is not cheap. All right, everyone. You don't see ones rusted out that bad often. It's pretty common to find a pipe that is rusted out on the very end, maybe the very entrance. Freeze and thaw cycles play a major factor in that. Out here, road salt is not a thing, so these pipes, their biggest issue is during storms, rocks, sand tumbling through it acts as a sandblasting. It removes the galvanization coating, which is zinc, allowing it to start rusting. That being said, even without the zinc coating, it still takes 30 years to rust through like you see. It is very uncommon to still see one in service that is rusted completely through the entire pipeline. And it's also pretty dangerous. It appears like the bottom of the pipe has a lot of bigger stone and gravel, so it's not an immediate issue to washing out the road as if they just put it in dirt. So this is a bigger issue than the typical problem. And this is an actual stream that handles more water, so that's a bigger issue that we found today. So about an hour down the road, as soon as we hit a signal, I'm going to call the boss and make sure he's aware of this one, because we're going to make sure this one gets replaced, and we'll give an update on it in a couple of months. The ground there is still definitely frozen under this road, so road work really can't happen on repairs like that until June. But come summer, we'll give an update on this location. And I hope today's video was interesting, everyone. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Today
Today is a warm day. It's already up to 55 degrees or 12 or 13 Celsius. It's going to be very, very warm out as we get into the afternoon. It's already 12:30. We spent 2 hours at that location. Those logs falling off of the trucks. So many around that corner. Look at that. One after another. Don't follow the log trucks. There's logs falling off everywhere during pothole season. Problem there. Gotta be careful the shoulder. That was a bit soft over there. Over here stable. There's another log that fell off a truck. But right over here I just saw a bunch of water backing up compared to the other side. It has very low water. That's how we spot our issues. You can usually pull up like this and just look down like that without getting out. Then I just gotta look in the mirror, no one's coming, flip around, other side of the road. I saw something over here. Yes, there's a large culvert there, so there is a blockage. So we gotta get out and inspect this one too. In the meantime, I've got a signal here. Gotta be careful how much I back up. The shoulder feels soft. All right, everyone, we're out. Now, this is very small. I doubt this was ever a beaver pond. I don't see any of their favorite trees they like to eat, so this is not where they'd want to live. So this is not a beaver problem here. If I listen carefully, I hear water. It sounds like it's falling into a pipe. We're going to investigate the other side before we try to figure out where it could be here. If we can't find it, we'll just put up blue ribbons. I just had a nice conversation with my boss, if that's what you want to call him. I do this work for free, but I was very lucky to find this guy. He's very nice. He loves the kind of stuff I do out here, and I never would have found him if it wasn't for a troll in my comments reporting me to the logging company saying I'm causing malicious damage to the pipes. Scumbags drive out hours into the wilderness and dump tires like this, put it up by the road. It'll get picked up by the park rangers who hate seeing trash. There's just 2, there's not 4 of them. Some were rolled down in here. So this one is a metal pipe, and if it's anything like the last one, it could have collapsed if it's severely rusted, because I don't see how exactly it would have clogged. It's nice to see all the grass coming back. This one hasn't ran in a while. Just based on the rocks, before we even look in there, I bet that came from holes. I bet it's collapsed before we even look in there. Oh, no, it's not. It's not clogged one bit. Well, I was wrong on that one. It's not going to the pond. That pond, I think, actually, now that I think about it, probably started its life as a quarry for some stone to help dress this road. Yeah, it's not even going to the pond. It's going to the end of the ditch right here. There we are. They may have just dug this out to get some stone at some point. Might be a miniature quarry, how it's square. They'll create areas like this where they dig and they'll break up shale rock and use it all over the roads. That's what it could be. I don't like to edit out of my videos when I'm wrong. It's good education. And that right there is exactly why we look at the exit first, so we can trace the angle it's coming across, figure out where it's coming across. Because when I stopped, first thought is it was there. But no, it is not. And I won't make that mistake again. Good to know. This one's actually in perfect shape. No need to mark it. And we got to clean up some tires by stopping at it. I'm going to show you why this stretch of road here is incredibly dangerous. So someone will be just driving along here, minding their own business, and suddenly they will be trapped in the road. We need to find a couple of sticks and put up ribbons. You see all the cracking right here? That's from frost heaving. So basically the wet road freezes down a bit, but as it continues to freeze down, the water's expanding, has nowhere to go but up, so it starts cracking the road. But right here, even a heavy vehicle here will sink into a mud pit. Part of it has already started opening up. If someone's driving here in this lane, they could get completely stuck, basically like quicksand. See, there's water pouring out of these cracks. See, that part of the road is a little bit frozen, but the rest of this just mooshes around. If I drive into this, I will get stuck. I've had to winch out of the road multiple times, and this is blind. From that direction, you could see this clearly, but you're driving from this direction, you're not going to see anything like that. So I'm going to jam a stick in part of that and send it off to a tree. These holes have trapped me a few times already. Just jam some sticks in there, and I was surprised how deep I was able to get that bigger stick. Hopefully that'll save someone from having a really hard time. I do love living in a place that's a very cold climate zone. Look at this road here. The sun doesn't shine down in this valley, so it's drastically different looking. I don't think we'll have a problem getting back up this. At least the bridge isn't icy. I don't think I'm gonna bottom out. Someone else definitely scuffed their bottom, but I think they made enough room for me. Yep, not scuffing out. Got a bridge right here. Oh, this hill, are we gonna have a problem going up it? What am I seeing there? Is it plowed in from the other end? Because this road's unplowed, but what about up here? Yeah, it looks like they've been plowing the other side. How soft is this, though? Oh, it's actually pretty good. You can drive right around it. I'm a little bit thrown off now, being at this section of road. A little bit thrown off. I gotta figure out how this is plowed, where the new way out is. And that fog looks beautiful. I think this area, it's possible the way out is only into Canada. It's possible. Found another culvert here. That's got to be marked a bit. I guess it was easier as a temporary solution until they get a new pipe to just cut that, because that's a newer cut right there. I even just saw a piece of it fall in there. Yeah, that's a bad one. And this is one of the higher quality ones that has the PVC liner in it. Right here, another plastic pipe, failed, crushed, not operating.